Hi guys, welcome back to our own channel Be Incredible. I'm Surjal Das. Today I'm going to start a very new and fresh topic, that is noun. What do you mean by noun? The definition of noun is any naming word, as I have written. Noun is a naming word. Any naming word that you call is a noun. It can be anything. Fine. So noun has been categorized into 5 kinds or 5 parts. The first one is proper noun. The second one is common noun, the third one is collective noun, and the fourth one is material noun, and the fifth one is abstract noun. Now if you can you tell me what is the definition of proper noun? Yes, you have recognized right. Your name is itself an example of proper noun. You ask me how? Proper noun's definition is any name that is of any city, that is of any person, that is any state. You have to just name it, and if you find the alphabet is starting right with capital letter, that means capital letter, then it will be an example of proper noun. Any state's name, any person's name, okay, any animal's name, anything. So I have written here some examples. You can see the first one is Saurav. Then second one is Kolkata. Now if I ask you how to apply it in any sentence, now you can say here Saurav, I have written Saurav is my best friend. So in the very beginning of the sentence I will write Saurav, S-O-U-R-A-V. So S should be written in capital letter. Now second I have written Kolkata. Kolkata is the place where I do reside, or Kolkata is a capital of West Bengal. So K should be written in capital. Kolkata is the capital of what? West Bengal, right? So W-E-S-T, West, B-E-N-G-A-L. So West Bengal, W should be written in caps, W should be in caps. Bengal, B should be again in capital letter. So that is how you can recognize in your exam, or you can write the very these are the examples of proper noun, and this is how you will recognize the instances of proper noun only. Okay, so what I said, name of anything, particular name, specific name given to anything, and that name should be starting with capital letter. That means the first alphabet, I mean to say, should be started with capital letter. Then it will be called an example of proper noun. Is that clear? Anything you can say. Geeta, Sita, Reema, okay, Saurav, Rahul Dravid, okay, Kapil Sharma, you can say Kapil Dev also, okay. So Mahendra Singh Dhoni, you have seen it that all the time their names, your own name, when you write in the answer sheet, your name, it should be written in capital, the first alphabet, okay. Your own name and the surname should be in capital letter, because every name should be in capital letter. Is that clear? Now second one is common noun. Now what is a common noun? Common, what do you mean by common? Common means anything that is common, okay. Now if I give you one example very easily, boy, you are a boy, you are a girl, okay. So if I ask you what's your name, then your name is an example of proper noun. Now if I ask you whether you are a boy or a girl, then you will say I am a boy, I am a girl. So this is an example of common noun. Boy, girl, students, okay, shape. So here we are not particularized, we are not giving any specific name of anybody, of anything, okay. Common noun can be anything, okay. It can be a boy, it can be a girl, student, shape, okay. It can be your flat, F-L-A-T, flat. It can be your block, B-L-O-C-K, block, okay. It can be anything. It can be an almirah, it can be the blackboard, okay. Now if I ask you what is the company of that blackboard? What is the company of this whiteboard? Okay, is it the company so called Apple? Your phone, you have your phone, that is, phone is an example of common noun. If I ask you what's the name of your company, phones company I mean to say, what's the name of your phones company, then you will say I have Samsung, I have Apple phone. So Apple, iPhone, so all these things, iPhone, Apple, Samsung, Apple, and then Motorola, all this will be included under the category of, all this will be included in proper noun. And if I say what is the company, if I say what is the name of your phone, then it will be included in proper noun. Now if I say you are using a phone, it can be any phone. Any phone should be an example of common noun. If I ask you what is the company of your desktop or laptop, so desktop and laptop will be examples of common noun. And if you say that I have Dell desktop, I have an Apple desktop, so Apple, Dell, HCL, all these things will be coming under proper noun, because you are giving the full detail name of your company. Okay, now give me some examples on your own in the comment section, so that I can check it out how far you have understood the very conception of proper noun and common noun. Okay, and if I find anything, I will rectify it. Okay, now third one is collective noun. What do you mean by collective noun? Collective noun itself is telling about some collection. Collection means something about union. Okay, collection of things. So how can you recognize? We have written here crowd, army, fleet. What do you mean by crowd? Crowd meaning any group of people. So what is group? Group is again an example of collective noun. So where you are finding that there is not a single person, but there is a group of person. There is a group of person, or there are some groups of people. So in this situation, what will happen? It will happen. Collective noun will take place. Okay, now here is written army. You know, we have Indian army. So here we are not talking about a single soldier. Army is showing as a whole, as a unit. The number of troops that we have here, everybody will be included here in this particular group. That will be the example of collective noun, an army of troops, you can say. Okay, now fleet, a fleet of aircrafts, okay, fleets of aircrafts. So whenever you are talking about aircrafts, whenever you are talking about the ships, so you have to use at that point of time fleet, and then army, and then crowd, group. Okay, all this. Is it clear? Now we are getting down. The fourth one is material noun. What do you mean by material noun? Material noun is very easy. Material noun, we can obtain it right from nature. What kind of material noun we can say? Material noun can be your gold. Material noun, it can be your wood, it can be your water, it can be your cotton, anything. Okay, now if I tell you more, I will tell you more about it. Only you have to keep one thing in your mind, that material noun is always we are obtaining from nature. It can be your gold, wood, water, cotton, anything. How? Gold is a natural product, is a raw product, fine. Now wood is actually a natural product. Okay, now when we are using wood, we are getting it right from nature. If I ask you what is tree, whether it is what kind of noun it is, tree, TREE. So you have to say this is a common noun. Now if you divide tree into several other parts, then you will get material noun. How? When I talk about wood, wood is again coming from the tree itself. So at that point of time, wood is actually a material noun that you are obtaining right from your nature. And then water, okay, then you can say fog, then you can say mist, okay, frost, okay, all this will be the examples of material noun. Now if I talk about abstract noun, it's very common. Abstract noun is very common in the sense, don't get puzzled with this common in the sense. Abstract noun, how will you understand? You have come to know the word honest, fine. Now if you add ty, honesty, it will become, so I have written honesty. Honesty is an example of abstract noun because it is, abstract noun definition is a word that is showing the quality, a word that is showing the quality. So honesty is showing some kind of quality, okay. Now second one is beauty, okay. Yeah, here also you can see ty is written. So how can you recognize? ty will be included, okay. And then here is written movement, okay, move plus ment, movement. So ment, so whatever word you see where ment is written will be example of abstract noun. How? If I say amazement, okay, amazement, amaze plus ment, amaze means what? Surprised, okay, surprised in the sense good sense, okay. So amazement you are getting. So this is an example of abstract noun. Now childhood, childhood is a time, okay, is a phrase of one's life. So child, I was a child, you were a child. So at that point of time we are using child plus hood. So childhood, okay, all this kinds of states, state, states, whenever you are talking about any state, okay, situation, and we use words like childhood will be examples of abstract noun. If I give you some other examples, if I ask you to convert the very word that is fruit, how will you convert it and convert it into collective noun? Can you be able to solve after having it learned? Fruit. Yes, you have seen whenever you pass by your market to reach your school on a daily basis, what do you see? You see basket. Have you seen basket? How does it look? Basket. So what? How can you use a basket of fruits? You can use in this way, a basket of fruits, okay. Then if I tell you about flats, 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 flats means the number of buildings where you might live, okay, very tall buildings. Usually you can find it in metropolitan cities, okay, in Kolkata, in Chennai, in New Delhi, okay, like this kinds of places, or Gurgaon. So how can you use it in collective noun? The word is flats. So you can say a block of flats, a block of flats, a block of flats, okay. Now come down. If I ask about how will you change, if I give you one word that is men, 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 plural of man, can you tell? You can tell in this way, a book of men, a book of men, a book of men, okay. Now if I tell you how will you put rise into collective noun, rise, you can say a bowl of rice, a bowl of rice, okay, bowl of rice, bowl, bowl of rice, or you can say a sack of rice, sacks, okay, or you can just write a bowl of rice, a bowl of rice. Now the fourth one is, if I say keys, a bunch of keys, a bunch of keys, a bunch of keys. So this is how you can make your collective nouns, okay. Now, if I ask you, how will you define material noun? Material noun can be other natural things as well. Can you tell me? Apart from the things that I told you, you can say silver, you can say gold, you can say rock, you can say leather, you can say sand, you can say air, you can say mud, you can say granite. Okay, all these are the examples of material noun. Got it? Now if I ask you, I will tell you one sentence and you have to judge what kind of nouns I am talking about. The sentence is, the window is made of glass. The window is made of glass. The window is made of glass. Window is what? What kind of noun it has? The window is made of glass. Window is your common noun. Now, if I talk about glass, the window is made of glass. Glass is a material noun. Glass is a material noun. Now, material noun, as I said, is an ingredient or substance that we can see or touch, which is available for making things. Okay, for making things. Material noun, it can be anything, as I said, all the material nouns. Okay, now common noun, in the sense, if I ask you the very definition of common noun, the common noun is indicating the names of people, places, things, animals, not the specific names. Common noun is speaking all about. It is just indicating whether you are a boy or a girl, whether that animal is a dog or a puppy or a cow or anything else. I am not saying its particular name, Hira, Moti, okay, Tommy. I am not referring all these names. Okay, now place, whether that's a place. Now if I say, what's the place where you live, you say, I live in Meerut. So Meerut will be the example of proper noun. And the city, only city, in which city do you live? So city should be an example of common noun. That's how. Okay, now what things do you have, in the sense, what this is, marker. So if I tell only marker, marker will be an example of common noun. Now if you ask me, what's the company of this marker, then I say Reynolds. What I said? Reynolds. So Reynolds will be an example of proper noun. Okay, now abstract noun, again revising we are. Abstract noun is something that tells about quality. So if I ask you to translate or to make it change good, if I ask you, what is the abstract noun of good, G-O-O-D, good, then your answer should be goodness. Okay, goodness is an abstract noun. Okay, wherever we are putting N-E-S-S, it will become an example of noun only. Good is an adjective, and if we put N-E-S-S, then it will become noun. So this is how you can recognize, you can do an easy trick by which you can recognize abstract noun. Okay, now freedom. If I ask you, what is the example of freedom, what kind of noun does it have? You will say, this is an example of abstract noun. Why? If you only say free, and plus you put DOM, dumb, then it will become freedom. Okay, now anger. Anger is an example of, this is again a word that is showing some kind of quality, right? So anger is again an example of abstract noun. Okay, now confidence. Confidence is again showing some kind of quality, right? So confidence is again an example of abstract noun. Now if I similarly say elegance, yeah, elegance. Elegance is an example of abstract noun. Okay, then if I say pleasure, pleasure is again an example of abstract noun. Now can I rub? I hope you have understood till here, and I am going to rub it so that I can give you some other examples and so that I can make you understand in a very better way. Okay, so guys, I have written a few sentences, 1 2 3 4 sentences. So guys, I have written 4 sentences here. Now if I ask you, how will you recognize proper noun and common noun? If I ask you, what kind of noun do you see? This is Ashoka was a noble king. Ashoka was a noble king. Ashoka was a noble king. Ashoka is an example of proper noun. Okay, how and why we are choosing Ashoka as proper noun? Because we can see A is starting with capital letter, and capital letter, wherever capital letter starts, that will be an example of proper noun, because this is the name of a person. Was a noble king. Okay, now if I say, what is king? King is an example of common noun. What? King is an example of common noun. Why? Because there is no specific king we are talking about. That's why we are only talking about king. It can be any king. Fine. So K is in small letter. How can we recognize common noun? It will tell the genre from that particular thing belongs. Here Ashoka is a king. King is a common noun. Okay. Now Rita is a poor girl. Now Rita is a poor girl. Rita is a poor girl. Rita, example of proper noun. Why? Because Rita is the name of a person, and the very first alphabet starting with capital letter. Capital letter, wherever you see, you will mark as proper noun. Now Rita is a boy or a girl. Rita is a poor girl. So girl is an example of common noun. Okay, common noun. Now we are talking about third one. Binay is a smart boy. Binay is a smart boy. Binay is a smart boy. Binay, B, is written in capital. So that's why B, if it is written in capital, then it should be proper noun. Okay. Now smart boy. Boy is again an example of common noun. So common noun is actually a boy, because Binay is a boy. Fine. Now this one, Meerut is a big city. Meerut is a big city. So in this case, what we can do? Meerut is the name of a city. This is an example of proper noun. And city, which city? Meerut city. City is an example of common noun. That's how. Understood? Now again I have brought some of the examples by which you can recognize what kind of noun it is. Now this time, this is the first line. The crowd has no discipline. 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 So crowd, you can understand with the word that this is an example of collective noun. So this is telling what? Collection of people. This is telling what? Collection of people. Crowd is telling what? The collection of people. There are so many people at the same place. So when we are going to discuss in collective form, we have to use crowd. So crowd is telling there are so many people. One word is showing there are so many people. And this is how we can identify, that is the very example of collective noun, because crowd is showing the collection of people. Now this one, second one is the army is formed with discipline. The army is formed with discipline. The army is formed with discipline. The army is formed with discipline in the sense army is formed, because army is showing every troop or every soldier that is present in our entire nation. So as a unit, if we talk, then it should be the example of collective noun. A collection of soldiers, a collection of soldiers, a collection of soldiers, a collection of soldiers. Army is telling not a single person, but the entire army, every other individual, whosoever is included in the army in our nation, we are talking as a whole. Okay, at that point of time, it is showing what? Collectiveness. It is showing collection as a whole. Okay, so we will say a collection of soldiers. Now third one is Rahul is the first boy in the class. Rahul is the first boy in the class. Rahul is the first boy in the class. So Rahul, we can understand this is an example of proper noun. And when you are getting class, a class of people, okay, a class of people. So class is itself telling you the, there are some number of people. Here in this case, what is happening? Rahul is the first boy in the class, a collection of students. Rahul is a student, that's why he has come first. Fine, among the many students, Rahul is someone who has secured the first position. That's why we are using in the class. Class is telling you there are number of peoples or students, and this is how we can recognize a collectiveness. We will recognize a collectiveness if we are recognizing a collectiveness something in a particular sentence with the help of word. That will be the thorough example of collective noun. Okay. Now the next one is, if you are asked to write or recognize in your examination material noun. Now how can you recognize it? I have written a few sentences here. The ring is made of gold. The ring is made of gold. So gold will be an example of material noun. Okay. The chair is made of wood. The chair is made of wood. So this is also an example of wood, is an example of material noun. We obtain cotton from plants. We obtain what? We obtain cotton from plants. So cotton will be the very example of material noun. Wood is also an example of material noun. Gold is an example of material noun. Is that clear? Can I make myself clear to you? Okay. Now I have written a few sentences. How can you recognize? What you see? Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is an example of abstract noun. This is an example of abstract noun. Honesty. Okay, honest, honesty, because it is telling about a quality. Now beauty is truth. or truth is beauty. So beauty is again an example of abstract noun. Why? Because beauty is again a quality that is being showed, right? So we can understand this is an example of abstract noun. Now kindness is a great virtue. Kindness is a great virtue. So kindness will be an example of abstract noun. Okay, now he is brave since childhood. So childhood is again an example of abstract noun. Is that clear?